Hey, it's Chris, your K-pop unk, bringing you a mature perspective on K-pop. Today is July 27th, 2026, and this is My Week in K-pop. So, this week, new aespa video, new KATSEYE song, and any other week, those would probably be big stuff for me, but honestly, those weren't the things that grabbed my attention this week. Though I will say, if you watch the KATSEYE video for Animal, stand by for a surprise cameo. I won't spoil it any more than that. Even though dodree's active promotion for HAWWAH is over, they still keep dribbling out just little tidbits from all three of their songs off the EP. Different performances, different little behind the scenes, and I always enjoy seeing something like that from dodree, so that always warms my heart. But really, this week centered around two main themes. So let's talk about JYP, both JYP the man and JYPE the company. So for those of you that don't know, JY Park was a famous idol starting back in the 90s, I believe, at least back that far. It might have got his start in the 80s. The man is basically my age. He's a couple years younger than me. He's as old as some of my good friends. And he's the guy that founded JYP Entertainment, one of the big three, and until recently was even part of the active management of the company, though he's since stepped down from that, but he is still an active solo artist for the company. So here's something I've noticed about K-pop. For the most part, most of the groups are younger. They're young adults or even teenagers, even children. And the songs are generally age appropriate for their age, and they are generally not over-sexualized. There are exceptions, and oftentimes those exceptions meet with blowback. But for the most part, K-pop is kid-friendly. But as idols age and they get more mature, the subject matter can get more mature. The dancing, the moves, the costumes, all of that can kind of get a little bit spicier because they're older and they are spicier. So JYP, being one of the oldest, and by some rumors, one of the spiciest, does not back away from that with his latest song, Wet. And if you're wondering what wet means, yeah, that's basically what wet means. There's a little hint of sweating and stuff. Yeah, and Olivia Newton-John's physical was about going to the gym. His lyrics are pretty clear. And a couple of things jumped out at me with Wet. So first of all, I love the song. It's got a great Latin beat. It's got a good groove, nice visuals, and a few things jumped out at me as I watched it. One, JYP, or as the lyrics tell us, just call me JY Poppy, has been hitting the gym, and he wants everyone to know it. He wants everyone to know it. Next thing that jumped out of my head, JYP Entertainment is known for idols that have a high degree of technical skill and precision, and you know that they are worked pretty hard to get that. JYP demonstrates that he's never asking anybody to do anything he's not going to do. It's clear the man works his butt off to perform at the level that he performs and expects of everybody else in this company. In fact, what was really surprising about JYP and Wet is he's doing the normal promotion cycle that groups in their active times do. So he didn't just put out a music video like he usually does. He's been on the countdown shows, and not once as a special stage. He had at least 3 of these over the week. He is literally doing the circuit. I saw a relay dance. He's like doing all the things. So he's really embracing, like, I'm an idol and I'm doing all the things. So I really love seeing that, particularly given the ageism and things they hit in the world. It's really nice for me to see people my age out there vibrant and doing their thing. So let's slide to the other end of the idol ladder for JYP. I mentioned last week that Init Entertainment just debuted a second girl group, OURBIRTHDAY. So OURBIRTHDAY is the newest JYP group. And if you recall last week, they'd had a few teaser things. I wasn't quite sure. It's kind of cutesy. It's kind of not. And I said, well, the proof is in, whatever. Let me see them. Let me see them get up there on stage and do their thing. And so this week we got it. We got their debut, Hungry Side A. We got a performance video for it. We got several stages for it. And it did not disappoint. I am super stoked by Our Birthday once I see them up there doing their thing. The song itself, it's got the beat, it's got the jam. It's not particularly deep lyrics, but it does have layers like a cake, which is fitting because they've got their birthday thing going. I really enjoyed the choreo, and it's very nuanced. There are so many little moves scattered through it constantly, like just little snacks, that no single performance can really show you everything. The performance video has a lot of it, and if you just watch the performance video, you will get 90%. But there are some really awesome moves that you don't see in the performance video because it's blocked differently than when they do a stage with the fun on camera. So one of the stages wasn't so keen on the camera work. The other two were really good, and I picked up some things I didn't see from the performance video. So let me step back, and maybe I will make a longer video about this. But you know I'm always going on about choreo, but maybe you haven't looked at choreo that much. Maybe you don't really understand what you're looking. People are up there, they're kind of wiggling around, sure. So let me give you a crash course before you go and look at Our Birthday so you can understand what gets me so excited. And I want to make this clear too. It's not that Our Birthday is the only group out there that does this or performs at that level. There are many groups that do, and those are the ones I tend to love. But the fact is, they are there performing at that level, which is why I'm paying attention to them. If you're watching stuff and you're not quite sure what you're looking at, is this interesting or not, and why is this impressive? What I want you to do is imagine you are doing those moves. Think about the large body structure first. Where's the torso going? Where are the legs going? What's the head doing? And then break it down torso by sides. What's the left arm doing versus the right arm? What's the left leg doing versus the right leg? And then break it down by joints. What are the ankles doing? What are the knees doing? What are the elbows and the shoulders and the hips and the fingers and the individual finger joints? What are the eyes doing? What's the mouth doing? Think of all those elements, all the different ways a body can move. And imagine that you are intentionally controlling every single one of those elements on a less than second basis for 2 minutes. Because that's what these people are doing for the most part. It is very incredible. And then that's one person. Now imagine that the moves for a person link with the movements for a different person. Now a lot of people fall back on the very basic idols moving in sync. They're all in a line. They're very synchronized, doing very precise movements. And that's awesome. And it's satisfying. And it's a hallmark of K-pop. That is about the easiest thing they do. And it is very satisfying. It's also what the fans can learn and enjoy and do along with them. But I'm talking about another level of performance where isolation, multiple levels, formation changes, all of that. So if you didn't really get what's exciting about choreo from a technical perspective, just watch like any 10 seconds of the Our Birthday performance video and then try and make a list in your head of all the different individual motions you see. And I think you'll be flabbergasted at just how complicated it is. One last thing about Our Birthday. Remember I mentioned there were rumors that it was actually going to be more than 3 people, but then they flat out debuted with 3 members, and it was perfectly constructed as a 3-member group. It all seemed to hang together really well as a trio. And then on Saturday, they put out their second 1.5-minute live action movie, and it showed a 4th girl joining the other 3. So I don't know what's happening with this. Certainly they have been out there promoting a debut song as a trio, but it's also Hungry Side A. So is there going to be a Hungry Side B that has 4 of them? Is there going to be a Hungry Side C with 5 or 6? I don't know. That's part of the mystery, and that's part of the fun of this, is to see what's going to come from Our Birthday. So, of course, as always, I'm going to put links for all of these videos down in the description so you can check them out for yourself. I really hope you'll check them out for yourself and then comment and let me know what you thought, and we can have a discussion about that. That would be really awesome. So please do that. Until next time, keep the K-pop flowing and your light sticks glowing.